All right, so I'm in between yards and I've got a question and something I wanted to talk about that no one ever does, which is, what do you know about what you do for a living? Okay, how knowledgeable are you about your craft? All right, are you just someone that mows, or do you actually know what kind of grass you're actually mowing? Do you know the weeds you're mowing? Do you know what would treat those weeds? Okay, once you treat the weeds, do you know around about time how long it's going to take for those weeds to die? Do you know how long it's going to take them to come back? Do you know how to stop them from coming back? These are all the questions that you're going to get asked by customers, right? And worst case scenario, which is more common actually, your customer is not educated enough to ask those questions, so you have to volunteer, you have to educate. Are you capable of educating a customer on what it takes to, for example, treat a lawn? Okay, and what to expect and what they need to do on their side, whether that be watering or mowing more often, yada yada. You know, how much do you really know? All right, because I feel like people really ignore this part of the whole business thing, which is why I do my videos the way I do them. I want you to see what I'm actually doing day in and day out. And you know, if you're paying attention and you're not just listening, or you're not just, you know, what's a weird noise? If you're paying attention and you're not just, you know, trying to find the way to make the most money possible, you know, and you're actually learning, you can actually learn really important tips, you know, things that are actually going to actually make you money without being a CRM or a marketing campaign or a you know, a sales pitch, right? All of the most recent lawn care videos, they're just, you know, selling you a course or a product or some, you know, mentorship, you know, that is supposed to take your business to the next level. Not a one of them that I've seen in the last probably 6, 7, 8 years, not a single one actually tells you what you're working on, the work you're going to actually be doing, that actually creates the value that your customers are going to pay for, right? Because you hear this all the time. Oh, you've got to create value to your customer. You've got to show them that, you know, if you want to charge a higher price, you got to bring the value. But then they go on to talk about all this nonsense that has nothing to do with the actual problem solving side of our business, which the problems are things like, hey, my lawn's got weeds, what do I do about it? That's your first, that's like your entry level question, right? What do I do about this weedy lawn? And then there's a whole world of knowledge. There's decades and decades and decades of knowledge and experience and learning that go into answering that question. You know, where are you located? What works where you're located? Do you even know? Yeah, I mean, like confidently know that if you start working on a lawn and you do the thing that you know that you're doing, are you certain there's going to be grass there next year? Are you really certain? Like, and I don't need you to comment like oh yeah. Just sit there and think about it, right? Do you know without a shadow of a doubt you could take my square of dirt, you know, my 20 by 20 square of dirt, and are you certain you can make me a sustainable, easy to maintain, easy to mow, something that looks great, is green all year long? Are you certain that you can make that happen? Because I don't think most of these people can. You know, I don't think most of the people that are getting into the business have the knowledge to actually do the tasks, because all of the videos I'm watching and I'm seeing from other creators are, oh yeah, you gotta, here's how you do your marketing campaign. Oh yeah, here's how you do your every door direct. This is what your flyer should look like. Oh, this is what, look at my truck. You need to get your truck lettered. This lettered truck is gonna bring in all the money. It's not. You know, it's gonna get you the customer for X amount of time, and then when your lack of knowledge shows through, your pretty billboard of a truck ain't gonna do anything for you. That truck's not gonna grow the lawn. That truck's not gonna grow a plant. It's not, you know. One of the things that I'm really happy with in my business is that whenever I plant a landscape, I don't really have failures. You know, I've had to replace 2 plants in the last 6 years. 2. You know, and I confidently offer a 1-year warranty on all of my plants. Period. No matter what, doesn't matter the cost. You know, if it's a $120 crepe myrtle or a $250 you know, mini dwarf spruce or whatever, if it dies, I'm going to replace it. Period. You know, and I do that confidently with every single plant I plant except for annual flowers. All right. Now let's do another little test. Let's get into, you know, we talked sort of about the lawns, but let's talk about the landscaping side. I'm going to show on the screen right now a plant in one of my landscapes. It's having a problem. It's not dead, it's not dying, but it's having a problem. Look at this plant. Do you know what's wrong with the plant? Without Googling, okay? And again, you don't have to comment, just think to yourself. This is a knowledge check, right? Without Googling, do you know what's wrong with this plant? For sure. I don't want you to say, oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's do you confidently know for sure what's wrong with this plant? I do. Now, do you know how to fix it? For sure, confidently. I do. I bet you don't. You know, $40 guy, $50 guy. And that's not to be, again, I know I'm coming across a certain way, but it's mainly because I see all these other videos that they don't talk about lawn mowing, they don't talk about landscape maintenance, they don't talk about this part of it. This is the part that makes the money. This is the part that makes you the premium price guy. All right? Period. I don't care what your truck looks like. I don't care what your website looks like. This is the part that makes the money long term. This is the part that makes people happy. So look at this plant. Do you know what's wrong with it? For sure. Can you treat it? For sure. Do you know how long it's going to take to treat it? Is it going to be a perfectly healthy bush? I'm kind of giving you a hint with that question. Is it going to be a perfectly a beautiful version of this bush in however long it takes? Oh. See, we're getting into different, deeper levels of knowledge if you can answer those questions. And these things are important because if you get out there and you start spraying stuff or you start putting stuff in the dirt and then the plant turns fully brown, well, then you didn't solve a problem, did you? You actually caused another one. Well, now we already spent money on the treatment. Well, now we gotta spend money on new plants. You know, we're trying to avoid that. You're supposed to solve problems, not cause them. All right. And now let's take it. Let's instead of going deeper into this plant that I've been showing you, let's step back a little bit. Let's go really base level. Do you even know what plant you're looking at? Without Googling, without comparing, yada yada. Do you even know what plant this is on the screen right now? Confidently. Are you certain? That's a big deal to know. And it's a super common plant, but I promise you 90% of the people look at this plant, they're not even gonna know. And they're gonna go out here and they're gonna call themselves professionals. You know, if there's a certain threshold of knowledge and experience and confidence in what you're doing that if you don't have it, and it's a minute, like you don't have to know how to treat that problem. You don't know how to treat a fungus or an insect or a root rot. You don't have to know how to treat those deeper things, in my opinion. You just have to know basics. Do you know what a plant is when you look at it? Okay? Do you know the difference in a holly and an azalea? Do you know the difference in an azalea and a rhododendron? Oh, do you? Without Googling. All right, that's the stuff that I'm more concerned with, and why I do my videos the way that I do them. Because I'm going to say, I'm going to point at something and I'm going to specifically name it, and then I'm going to tell you about it. And that's why my videos, I feel like, are going to be more helpful to you getting into this thing, because you're going to actually get actionable, real deal, in the field knowledge. And I'm not selling you a course. I don't have sponsorships and stuff, you know. I don't care about that. You know, I mostly do it just to have fun and enjoy my job, and document things, right? And show progress over time. But like I say, man, don't increase your attention span a little bit. Read a book, you know, watch a long form video, and actually don't just watch, but listen to what's being said and kind of think, can I apply that to my area? You know, because there's a trade-off too. Yes, I'm giving out very specific knowledge, but 99% of the things that I talk about are things that are going to work where I live. It might not work in Minnesota or New York or wherever else, you know. And then things that work in those areas definitely won't work here. You know, it's just the temperatures are too different. So again, all this to say, make sure you know your craft and you're well versed and you're competent and you're actually knowing what you're doing. Because again, all these guys want to make fun of the chucking a truck, you know, and they think that's a cute little saying, like, oh, are you just a guy with a lawnmower? But then you show them a picture of a plant, they don't even know what it's called, you know. They want to talk about, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that, we got all the trucks, we got all the, you know, 2500 HD, the pool, you know. But then you show them a picture of a plant and you say, hey, what's going on with this? Can we fix it? And they don't know. They're going, maybe. Or they're going to lie. Yeah, we can fix it. And then it's dead a year later, 2 years later, right? You got to know, man, because you got to know. You just have to know what you're doing. If you're going to come out here and start being all big and bad about your professional lawns care, and I'm worth, you know, I'm not the cheap guy, I'm worth, you know, $75 a cut. Are you? So I've seen some of your work. I don't think you are. Looks like you just put all that mulch straight on top of the grass, and your lines are crooked, and you know, you don't even have the basic workmanship done. You don't really know what you're putting down. It's got weeds in it the next week. Why? You didn't have a solution for that, or you just don't know, you know? Think about this stuff, man. Do you know what you're doing? Actually,